Yo, you want to start with just us two? I can't hear you too well either. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better. Mm-mm. I sound muffled a little bit, but you definitely sound clearer, though. Yo, all right, bro. Right, the Luca and the and AD show that was a crazy trade this week, the past week. When I seen that, I was baffled. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, I felt like it was a horrendous trade for the Lakers. No, I felt like it was a horrendous trade for the Mavs because they were giving up Luca for AD, which I don't think is equivalent to each other. But the Mavs definitely have a better team now, a better starting five, while the Lakers is more look like they're headed towards rebuild after LeBron is gone. No, they did. They really did. They actually much better than I thought they would. I'm surprised LeBron's taking the back seat to Luca though. But when you got a star of that caliber, you might have to. It's better if you just play your position at that point. Right, right, for sure. Like on the Heat, a little on the Cavs. So for sure, yeah, he's definitely multi-positional for sure. All right, no, I definitely agree. Um, I was expecting that team to be like good together, but to be honest, they look like they're not missing a beat without Luka. To be honest, it looks like they might be headed to the finals, back to the finals again, maybe this year, depending on the health of Anthony Davis. True, true.
Let me mute my mic on here. Boom. All right, here we go. So now I can just make sure people can hear me. But the way LeBron and Luca looked together was like really, really good last night. AD and Kyrie looked really good in their debut. De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama are also meshing really well. How would you feel about
Very
that
well.
as far as for Victor?
Man, that game was a crazy game too. The first game that De'Aaron Fox played,
Mm.
amazing game. Too bad the shot didn't count against the Hornets and they lost. But that was a great game. De'Aaron Fox looked like he's gonna be a star, as he usually is. But he looks like he's gonna elevate his game even more, especially under Pop. And Victor and him is gonna be an amazing combo.
Yeah, they look. People were talking about the Aaron Fox game changing like a pass first guard, and I was like, I mean, it's not. It doesn't really have to, but he already is a good passer. I mean, Victor Wembanyama has already made the adjustment, but he's a scorer as at will. So like last night, I was watching the game, and they both like had 15, almost 20 points in the first half. So and then
Yeah,
you
I
add
don't
in the
think
Chris
he's
Paul maturity.
all right. Chris Paul's veteran shit. He can train. De'Aaron Fox can train under him, but I don't see where De'Aaron Fox has to go to a pass first. I believe he can even be the first option over Victor as of right now. But of course, Victor would be the number one option for scoring because he's just so dominant over the rest of the players. But De'Aaron Fox could definitely find his spot, like in that rotation where it comes to scoring wise. It's gonna be him, Victor, Castle, maybe, and some other people.
Mhm. Yeah,
What the
I think
team
they
that
who do
really
they keep
popped me
between
though?
Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson though?
Yes, Kevin Vassell and Devin Vassell and Kevin Johnson. Yeah.
Like who do they choose? Because they have to choose one. They both can't stay.
Mm, I think Johnson might be the better fit.
Okay. Yeah, because Castle can play the two. De'Aaron Fox at the one. You could put Kenyon in at the three or the four, and you still got one of the Murray brothers who's developing. He could be really good. Do they still have? They got Sochan.
Sochan is really good. Yeah,
Yeah, he could
Sochan
play the
plays the
three or the
four
four as
though, right?
well. They got this little
Yeah.
young squad over there they can build around. I would
Yeah,
go and get some more pieces, but
That
They need to do
foundation
what the
with
Rockets are
Fox
doing.
and Wemby is amazing. It's
Yeah,
actually a really good foundation. They get a third player in there, they're good to
they do
go.
what
They
the
can
Rockets did and just like build get some veterans. 'Cause that's what the Rockets did this year that changed their team. They got veteran presence. Even the Pistons by getting Tobias Harris kind of changed the dynamic where they're not we don't just see them as a losing team anymore. They're actually like winning games. Winning they
right.
won last year at least.
I think they might have a positive record as of right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're a couple of
We'll
spots
see.
back from being
A
a
playoff
locked
team.
in playoff team,
Yeah,
which is
Detroit
really
is
good
really crazy
with it.
right
And
now.
Cade's also playing at a very high level. Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing better. Jalen Duran is to me is an all-star big, even though he didn't make an all-star team. He just double when you need it. When you don't need it, he still has double-digit rebounds, great defensive presence. They got Amin Thompson. The Thompson brothers were probably a shock to me. They were good in the draft and studying them, but the way they're playing now is just like they're stepping into themselves earlier than I thought they were.
Right, right. I have to do more research on the Thompson brothers, but Amen is definitely doing his thing. I just wish he could develop a shot, but we'll see that probably later on in his career.
Yeah, it's gonna take him a while to get that part down, Pat.
Yeah, but he just got into the starting rotation and he's doing pretty well. And they're playing a lot better with more flow. The Rockets look pretty good right now too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mm,
I got a question for you though.
what's going on?
How do you feel about Jimmy Butler on the Warriors?
See that one? I didn't know how I was gonna feel, and it looks good in hindsight. Like it looks really good in hindsight, but I don't know how long they still has no like big. Like that's not a championship team still. Like there's no big there. The small ball lineup, they kind of gave away a lot of their like to me, Wiggins is one of those pieces that was there the whole championship, and he always played a little role. Like he always had a little role in their championship wins. Like just that little backup scoring off the bench. Sometimes he would come into the starting lineup. Like when plays off, Wiggins could give you that scary 20 points. Jimmy Butler's still that, but he doesn't give me like he hasn't scored. He hasn't had like a high scoring game for you. I'm like Jimmy Butler was going off like in a minute, but he can definitely still get them over them humps. He brings a defensive presence. He brings that dog. Him and Draymond Green should lift the team on the defensive end. Um, I just think they still need like a small ball big, like Vanderbilt or something like that. Or like, oh, they got Jonathan Kaminga. Actually, they got a pretty good team over there. They got Kaminga
They
over there,
do.
right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good pickup by them. That's a really good pickup for them, actually. Now I'm thinking about it, I forgot about Kaminga. Kaminga, Curry, and them all they all starting and they all on the same page. That small ball lineup could be crazy. It's just mad defense, and then Curry just gets to shoot the ball, and they all can pass well. So it'll be yeah, that's a pretty good team. I think that's a good team for. I think Butler could have went somewhere better, but I think that fits well for him.
I think he fits in really well too. Him and Curry is a crazy duo. They can both lead a team by themselves to the finals. Um, if one is not or going off, they have the other. Curry's not going off. They'll always have Jimmy Butler, which is 100% scoring option they could go to. Oh, he also increases their free throw difference too as well. They're getting a lot more free throws now that they have Jimmy Butler on the team, which is very important, I think, in the playoffs when you need to slow down the game and get some points. So that seems really good.
Yep,
Um,
definitely helps with that. He definitely helps with free throwing. He defensive presence. We already said it. I'm sorry.
yep, defensive presence is there as well.
What
Man,
about Kuzma to the
I'm happy
Bucks?
for Warriors chances. Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks. Now that
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I know that Chris Middleton isn't having the best year, but I don't see the purpose of that trade because he doesn't hold the weight of Chris Middleton on the defensive end. Like Kyle Kuzma is gonna get you some points when he can, but I don't see him being as great of a defender as Chris Middleton was.
that's true.
How do
That
you
is
feel
true.
about it?
I think he can grow though. I think that's more. I think that was more of a future move as well. Get someone that can help us in the future because we're not winning now. I mean, they can still win now, but they're just not playing at a level where they're just like we're completely a championship team. He also could
They
be that
have to
third
go
guy
for it now,
to,
though.
huh?
They should be thinking to go for it now because they have Damian and Giannis at the moment. This should be the next 3 to 4 years should be years that they're focused on going for the championship.
That is true. I agree. But that's again that's what I was gonna say. That still gives them that third guy that they can go and be like, okay, he completes the trifecta and makes our team better because they go and get Kyle Kuzma. Now they got a big three technically because Kyle Kuzma is Washington. He's the best player, but now he comes over. They can now go small ball, put Kuzma at the four, put Giannis at the five, and now you're seeing a lineup where they have. Only thing for me is Kuzma's not a great shooter. So now they have Kuzma, they have Giannis, who can't really shoot the ball, and Kuzma can't really shoot the ball. And now we have a system where we're playing with Dame as the only shooter on the court. We have Kuzma, we have Giannis, we got the two and the three, whoever those might be, but they're not. None of those people are consistent shooters. The best shooter on the court on the Bucks usually is Dame Lillard. Um, that's my only drawback to that. I think the athleticism on the team takes a step up. The rebounding takes a step up. I think Kuzma can become a better defender, especially when he's like trading and stuff with Giannis in him. He'll learn how to play a better defense. They did give up their best defender, but he'll learn how to get
Definitely
better
did.
on the defensive end. And he'll also learn how to shoot as well. We'll get that down pat sooner or later. But he gives them something different. Chris Middleton is older. Kuzma is younger. Like I think everybody right now is planning for that future. Like even if they're gonna win now, they're still planning to win later as well. They're trying to think about what they can do in the future still. And that's what that
But
trade does for them is keeping them where they have a chance to basically, I don't know, win now and win later. That's something you can build upon. We never know what the draft is going to be, and these next couple of drafts are going to be really good to me. I've been looking into. We'll talk about that at a later date as well. But these last couple draft classes have been really good. I just want to look at some of these trades too, as well. Go to NBA.com. Look at some of these trades too. Sorry, I didn't put that over there. See.
there was a trade to the Kings that happened as well for De'Aaron Fox. I believe they got Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, he steps in, but that's kind of a bad trade to me because now where do you put him and Sabonis?
I think you can play Sabonis at the four.
You
And
can,
is
but
he
they're not. They're
starting? I
starting
don't think he's
Sabonis, and they
starting.
got Jonas coming off the bench.
Yeah, Jonas comes off the bench.
But he's to me, he's starting. He's a double machine as well. I think if you play them two together, because that's a great front court. I don't think no one really can you know what I'm saying?
We'll probably see that more during the playoffs for sure. I
Okay.
definitely expect to see that during the
A
playoffs.
shocking trade because Ingram. I thought Ingram was injured. Ingram got traded to the Raptors,
Yeah, yep,
but
yep.
they just got a bunch of wing presence. What did that do for them?
But they're continuing to develop their core now. They got Gotti, they got
Uh,
Barrett, they got Quickly, and now they have Ingram. It's a good
So
four.
hold on. They got RJ Barrett. They got Scotty Barnes. They got Grady. Because you people forget about Grady Dick. They got Grady. They
Yep.
got now they got Ingram. This is just the wings. That's all wings.
Scotty can play the four.
Yeah, Scotty at the four is fine. But now what do you do for your one and your two? Because you got Grady,
You
you
got
got Quickly, you got Barrett, you
Quickly.
got like what do you put these guys? Because Ingram has to start. Now if you start Ingram, you're taking RJ Barrett and Grady out the starting line. One of those people have to come out the
No, you
starting
could
lineup. Grady's
Grady
playing really
most
well for you.
likely. You could
RJ's
play
playing really
RJ at
well
the
for
two. I
you.
seen him
I mean, I
have
think he
some.
just gives them more consistent shooting. If we're going to do for the pluses, he gives them great shooting, but you're losing a lot, I think, by grabbing him. You traded him for Bruce Brown, who's been playing well for you guys. You gave up some first round picks. I mean, Kelly Olynyk is not a big drawback that you're giving up, but I think Bruce Brown has he's been on a championship team. He's been a great defender on the championship team. He's a great role guy. He's a great fill-in guy. I mean, I guess you give him up for Ingram. Ingram is the better player, of course, but where does he fit is my thing. So, and he has a 3 year
Mm,
deal with his contract at all player years, so it's his choice whether he stays or not. Um, The Jimmy
Who's their
Butler
center
thing
at the
made me
moment?
love a lot of teams. Come to think of it. Oh, we didn't talk about DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs. That's a great pickup for them.
That is. That is.
That's I think the Cavs might be the best built team besides the Celtics and like the Celtics, Thunder, and the Cavs are my. We ain't talking about. We're gonna get into that too next. I guess we can segue into that now. Our favorites for the championship. I mean, the Nuggets always hang there for me, but I'm gonna go with the Cavs, the Celtics, or the Thunder to go to the finals or win the finals. Those are my three teams right now. Those are my favorites.
Okay, my three would be the Celtics, Thunder, and the Nuggets. I believe
Yeah,
the Cavs are this is the first time having such like an outbreak year. Uh, I believe they have to develop a little bit more, even though they're having a great regular season. And the playoffs is a whole different game. Um, I see the Celtics winning it all. I don't really see like a better team than them, other than maybe the Thunder can come close. The Cavs is also a great team too, but as I just said, they need more development, in my opinion. But the Celtics definitely are just all around mesh well, play amazing together. They have the depth. They're just the it team right now, in my opinion. And I don't
yeah.
really see anyone beating them.
Well, the Celtics and the Thunder. The Thunder team is crazy.
Yeah, the Thunder, yes. The Thunder are good too, but they're also really young. They
Really
just
young.
got back Chet, so we're gonna see how that works.
Yeah, I think Chet with Hartenstein. I think Hartenstein can come off the. Can play the five. We can put Chet in at the four. We give Jalen Williams that three spot because he can play there. Whoever you have at the two doesn't really matter, and you just have Shea at your one because they can just play like they can just. I mean, they can literally play with whatever lineup they want to play with because the young guys over there can ball. They can hoop. Um, and there's no law between who comes. Like when they have their bench come in, it's still high level defense. They're still scoring the ball. You know, it's not a real drop off from the starters, which is really good for a team. They're not going to beat the Celtics though, so it's like if the Celtics make it out of the East, they win. It will have to be one of those veteran teams like the Bucks to knock off the Celtics or the Six. Well, the Six is probably not going to knock them off either. The only team I can see knocking them off is probably the Bucks.
You think the Bucks? Oh, I don't know. The
I don't
only
think they.
team
I
I
think
see
only
beating
team I can see
the
because there's not a lot of teams in the East that can really beat the Celtics. So I'm gonna give them a team that's closest to them. I would pick the Bucks. There's no one else in the East really that
I
good
would say
besides
the
the Cavs.
Cavs.
And when they
Yeah,
play
the
the
Cavs
Cavs, that's
are
gonna be like the
better.
conference finals. I'm talking about like if someone has to knock them off before the conference finals. It would because the Cavs and the Celtics probably gonna be the two teams in the conference finals. Uh,
Yeah.
and then when they play each other, it's just a toss up. But the way I've seen them this year, I feel like the Celtics are going to take that. I don't know how it's going to look in 7 games, but just watching the games, the Celtics are beating the Cavs before the Cavs even get a chance to breathe. Sometimes, like it's just it looks kind of different. Like with the Knicks can beat the Celtics too.
I don't see that happening, and that's
It
my
would be a
favorite
shock,
team.
but they can beat the
It
Celtics.
would be a shocker. It definitely would be.
It would be a shock because the Knicks aren't that bad. I feel like if Ananobi and Mitchell are healthy and the starting lineup is Brunson, McCall, Ananobi, Cat, and Mitchell, that's a very solid starting five.
Very, yes. But we have yet to see how Mitchell and Cat will play together. I think it'll work out with more time, but I still don't see that taking them over the hump. It'll add more depth, but the the Celtics chemistry is just out of this world right now at the
That
moment.
is true. That is
Just out of
true.
this world. I don't really see anyone beating that chemistry. Like the flow, they just play with so much ease. Like they're not even trying. So far, the
That's,
only team that we've seen like really beat them this year in the regular season was the Cavaliers. So
that is true.
you know,
I mean, there's also like the uh the Knicks beat them one game, didn't they?
no,
Oh, they
I
lost
believe we
one
played
game.
them twice and we lost both games. The season
Yeah, you
opener.
know what? I just watched the last game, and I think Ananobi is
Yeah,
the better person to guard Jason Tatum. McCall's a great defender. I just think Ananobi is just that. He's one of the best defenders in the league, and I just think he needs to be like. If we have him on Tatum, and we have McCall on Jalen Brown. The rest of the team has to now figure it out because once those two are locked up, the rest of the team has to figure it out. But we don't have anyone to guard them. And then the rim protection that Mitchell will bring can cancel out Jalen Brown. I mean, not Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown attacking up the rim. And then Cat and Jalen Brunson will still be the offense with them moving the ball to the shooters. Mitchell will be the at the rim presence now. I mean, the only thing that would lack is the spacing will drop down. And we don't really want to take Josh Hart. That's that lineup. Josh Hart is a really good defender too. I was watching the game. I was thinking that we put Josh Hart on Tatum. That was just my personal thing. Because Josh Hart was guarding like Al Horford sometimes. He was guarding like like I'm like, if we put him on Tatum, the way because McCall's not doing it right now. Like, he's trying his best. I just watched Jason Tatum shoot like three threes off the dribble against McCall. I just don't like it. I don't like it. He's not coming off
Agreed,
screens.
agreed.
He's just shooting off the dribble. He's working you out and then he's shooting it. And we're continuing to let him do that, and we're not making any adjustments. And it irks me when I see that because Thibodeau's a great coach. I think he should just all right, well, if he's not going to guard him, I have another defender on the court. Let me put Josh Hart. Josh Hart's also small, but he's a dog. So like, it's the reason you put
Right,
Patrick
right,
Beverly on. He's just a dog. He's annoying. You put him on him to guard him because he's annoying.
right. No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Um, but we'll have to see how it looks when Mitchell Robinson comes back, though.
That's also true. Because when Mitchell
Yeah, I
Robinson
definitely
gets there,
do
it's gonna
agree. They do have to make that change on the defensive end for sure.
that's definitely gonna be an adjustment
So who do you
for
see as the two teams in the finals?
the two teams in the Celtics versus OKC.
Celtics versus OKC. I like
Yeah.
those. I like those odds. My pick will be the Celtics versus the Nuggets. I believe the Nuggets is gonna get over the hump in a 7-game series against the Thunder.
Everybody keeps
Um,
saying that, and I can see that too. That's why I say Nuggets is that sneaky. That's that sneaky team in the West that you never know. They just have to. You have to see how they're playing when it's time. But the way they're
time,
playing
right?
right now is like,
It's the regular season. Um, Jokic is still playing at MVP level though.
yep. And Michael Porter Jr. is walking into himself at this point. He's having games where he's just like, I'm like, he's the man. Like Jokic is getting his points. Jamal, because he's Jamal, he's going to score at least 15. And Porter is in the game, and he got a sneaky 30 points, and we didn't even know he had like. I was just watching the other day. I'm just like, he's cooking. He's hitting his shot. They switched Aaron Gordon to coming off the bench, and I guess it just opened up Michael Porter's game because now he's the third option instead of Aaron Gordon, and it looks good on him. Looks good on him. I want to see how that looks when they're in the playoffs. Jokic is going to be Jokic. If I had to, like you said, if I had to choose between the Thunder and the Nuggets in a 7-game series, I'm definitely going to choose the Nuggets, especially if it's Jokic over Shea. Jokic is going to have 30 and another 15 assists to add to his points, whereas Shea is just going to have 35. But his team is not going to overcome the offense that the Nuggets are displaying. Now, the Nuggets have to be able to play good defense because the Thunder are a high scoring team. So it's going to be a
Right,
balance in that. But I do think that the Nuggets can outscore OKC in that 7-game series. Definitely agree on that.
right,
Definitely
right,
agree on that.
for
Um,
sure.
just based off of it's just Jokic spreading the ball around. They don't have a passer like that, so things are going to look different on them. Speaking of MVP level, who do you have winning MVP?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Jokic again. He's having a crazy season. I think he wins it. Would this be his third time in a row?
This will be his third time. Yep.
Yeah, I think he wins it 3 times in a row. The only other person that's giving him a run for his money is Shea at the moment.
Mm.
Um, Maybe if Shea, which it is likely, ends up being the first seed by the end of the season, he could have a chance for it. But
Yeah,
I think that the Joker is gonna, at the end of the day, take it because he is averaging a 30
a
plus
triple
point
double.
triple. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
I
really
think
see
if
how
he
you can do
pushes it
that.
to a triple double, he takes the cake with no problem because he's averaging a triple double. Like you can't argue with that.
You can't. You cannot.
Can't argue with that. He's like I said, it's not like he's averaging a fluff triple double. He's really out there putting up points. Like he's putting up points. So it's like it's. I mean, It's a toss up between them. It was I was watching some videos and people were mad about the fact that Shea was in the game and they were up 25 and he's in the game to score 50, I think 50 or 40. And I'm just like, when you come to now, he's chasing the MVP at this point. He's no longer trying to. The game was over at that point. It wasn't to win the game. That was to fluff his stats for the MVP trophy. Even Jokic got in the game one time. They were up, and he got in to get his triple double. And it looks like he's playing for the MVP trophy as well. To me, the Nuggets have a worse record than the Thunder, so it looks crazier when Shea does it. Because when Shea's in the game, they're up 25. I mean, he's young, so for me, I'm like, get them the experience, let them play. But also, it's like we're up 25, and it's the fourth quarter. He already has, 40, 45. I mean, you throw him in the game to give him the 50, or you just take him out and let them win, finish the game out. We're in the fourth quarter, they down, they're not coming back. You know, at that point, what are we doing here?
Right. Um, I mean, when it comes to that, to each his own. Everyone, I feel like, sort of like stat pads when it comes to
Mhm.
like certain statistical stats. Like even LeBron one time came in for a rebound and got subbed out for a triple double. Like, so I mean, I don't fault them for that, especially Shea, who's doing it like for points rather than for like to finish off a third category or so on and so forth.
Mhm.
So I don't. I mean, as long as they can handle it, but I do not like it as well, like how you say, because now you're just doing it to look good for the MVP race. But man, I do wish they would give the MVP to Shea because I felt like he deserved it last year too. If it was other than Luca, he had the most points per game.
I think he deserved it more last year than he do this year.
You think so? He elevated his game this year, and his team is number one.
Jokic is
Last year,
playing better than
he
his
really
MVP
had the
season.
numbers.
Jokic is playing better than both of his MVP seasons.
Yeah. I heard you
Like,
say that.
if Jokic is already at MVP level, has one, and he's playing better than that, you can't give Shea it's hard to give Shea the MVP
But
trophy over that
you
because he's
know what
playing
I
at a
think
higher
also
MVP level.
relates in the MVP, in my opinion, even though it doesn't happen most of the time. In my
Mhm.
opinion, what should relate into the MVP season is how high of a seeding your team is.
True.
And Shea has the number one team in the league, in the actual league. They have the best
Mhm.
score. They have the best record, higher than the Cavs right now.
That is
So
absolutely true. I
with
mean, you're
that,
right. That usually doesn't factor
plus the
into it,
points per
but
game, come on, it's no way he doesn't win the MVP. It'll be a robbery. I don't care how well Jokic is playing. His team is like the fourth or the fifth seed, I believe.
but
So I think
what
it
does that
also
say about his game that his team is the fourth or fifth seed and they're still favored over the OKC to win the championship?
to win the championship. Yes,
Like you see what I'm saying? Like his MVP conversation becomes crazy when you hear stuff like because he's favored to beat the team that's the best team in the West as a fourth seed. People don't even see that
currently
one seed
they're
beating them.
sitting at three. Currently they're sitting at three.
Yeah, so they don't even see him. They don't see the first seed beating the third seed, which I think is going to finish out. OKC Nuggets going to be one, two, or three, and then the rest of them will fall into place. There's not a lot of teams in the West. Like West is good, but it's not as good as it used. Like there's not a lot of teams punching for that top two spots. To me, is locked in. OKC Nuggets. Who's another team? Who's the second team in the West?
The Grizzlies.
Yeah, we're not worried about them here. So Nuggets and Thunder in the conference finals. Um, Rockets will be a sneaky team. Warriors are always someone you have to worry about.
Lakers are
Um,
fourth right now. Did you know that?
Lakers, that's another team I worry about because LeBron and Luka together. The Mavs. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
actually, the West just got a little better. The Mavs now, Kyrie and AD with Klay Thompson. Um, But these are like hopefuls. I don't think Lakers are still a hopeful to me too. Like we're talking about solid teams that I know can win that or go to the championship. It's only OKC and the Nuggets in the West, and in the East you only have you got like three teams: I think you have the
Cavs,
Celtics,
Celtics,
the
and Knicks.
Cavaliers, the Knicks, and you got to always throw the Bucks in there. So the Bucks will be the fourth team. I don't know another team in the East that could, beat any of those to go to the. Like those are
Definitely
the
not
four
the Heat
spots.
anymore.
Yeah,
And
they
the
just
Magic were
lost
doing
their
well at
best.
the start of the season, but they're the ninth seed now. So I don't
Yeah,
really see it.
the Sixers are bad. Maxey was trying to carry them, but he couldn't. Um, the Magic aren't ready. I just watched them play against the Hawks. They're not ready. The Hawks are a sneaky team too. Let me put that in my sneaky list
All
because
right.
Trae Young is a
Trae Young, you can never doubt Trae Young,
you
man.
can't count him out. Man,
Trae
sneaky.
Young is so underrated. Trae Young is so underrated. It's not even funny.
That is a fact. I think he didn't make the All Star team this year, did he? And that's what shocked me as well.
No,
Did he make the All Star team? I think he's not on the All Star team,
no, he's not.
and that's like that's hate at this point. That's what it is to me. It's no way he doesn't make an All Star. He's beaten every All Star on that All Star list before. Like he has been a villain in all of their stories before. You name any of them, they have lost the game where they were winning a close. It was a close game, and he just came out of nowhere and beat them.
And beat them, yes. That's true.
Like it's crazy. You can't. He has to be an All Star. He has to be an all. He's also averaging 20 and almost a double double. Like how is he? The Trae Young hate has to stop at some point. Has to. Just has
He's
to.
still young, though. He's only 26. He has plenty of time, though. Plenty
He
of
does
time.
as well. He
26 is
does.
really young.
Uh, I I think he's gonna probably stay in ATL. I would like to see Trae Young move as well. I like to see
Where
Trae
would you want to sit him?
Young. Where would I send
I think he
him?
would have went, if it wasn't for De'Aaron Fox, he would have went incredibly well with Wemby.
Oh yeah, him and Wemby would be disgusting. Him and Wemby would
Yeah.
be disgusting. Yeah, just because of his passing. A team that could use a really good PG right now, the Rockets. Trae Young
Damn,
on the
Jalen.
Rockets would make all of those score. He would elevate because all of them are just raw scorers. So he would elevate their scoring. He would take some pressure off of Jalen Green having to handle the ball. He would take some pressure off of Sengun having to handle the ball. Now they're just playing their roles: score the ball, rebound, do what you're supposed to do as your job, and you have a great passing and also scoring guard. Like that's Van Vliet. Van Vliet has made that for them now. Like he's scoring the ball or he's passing the ball for them now, so they all are scoring more. And Rockets are more defensive. They're like gritty with a scoring presence. You get them Trae Young, it's gritty with a scoring presence and a great passer to elevate everybody. That's a great thing he can go to. I think where else? Uh,
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves, he would fit in well too. Take pressure off of
Very
Edwards.
well,
Now
yeah.
Edwards can just off ball score. That's a great pickup. The Spurs would have been a good one. Um, Knicks would have hated it, but if they would have got him before, like him, Brunson, I think him and Brunson could play together too. Because Brunson's a scorer. Well, he likes the ball in his hand.
Yeah,
Who else?
Brunson is very ball dominant.
I would have him on the Cavs instead of Garland, but then Donovan Mitchell has the ball in his hand, so that wouldn't work. The Magic need a PG. Him with Franz Wagner and Banchero, he will also elevate their scoring. That would be a good
Yes,
fit.
that sounds great. That sounds great too. Like
Yeah,
a
he
great
would do
fit.
well there. I mean, Trae Young is that kind of guard. He could fit anywhere. You just have to make the adjustment. But there's a lot of teams he would like. I feel like him on the Magic, he would make the Magic a playoff, like a championship contender, because they have those two pieces. They don't have a third piece. You put him in, now they have three scorers, a great passer, two great passers, and him and Franz Wagner, and now everybody else just has to play their role. You put Anthony Black in to be your best defender. You got Jalen Suggs, who's a great defender. So now you can play a lineup where you have Trae Young, Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black. You have Banchero, Franz Wagner at the 4 and the 5. I mean, it works because Banchero is 6'10", Franz Wagner is 6'9". He can play the power forward. You play that lineup, small ball. Because, playoffs, you typically see a lot more small ball lineups. So those guys playing
Right,
small ball would be great.
right.
They would be great. Who else? That's it. That's it for him. Who else do you think that is on a team right now that would benefit from being on another team?
Mm, hmm. That's a good question.
Hmm.
I would like to see. Hold on, give me 1 second. I would, if I'm looking at it. Yep. Maybe, you know what? I would like to see either Harden moved or maybe even Kawhi. I feel like the Clippers need to do something with that team. I would have honestly said De'Aaron Fox, but that already happened, so that doesn't really come to mind. Colin Sexton is basically on the Jazz by himself right now. That he would be a good player on another team.
Lloyd Markkinen is another person that would be good on another team.
Yes, Lauri
I think he
Markkinen
just played out
too.
of position. I think Lloyd Markkinen needs to. I think he's built enough to play the 4. He's playing your 3. He's 7 feet tall. I don't know why he's not playing the 4 or the 5, but he's playing that Porzingis role. Like he's the star of the Jazz. Like he's the best player on that team. It's funny you say Colin Sexton is there by himself when he's the second best scorer on the team. I think Lloyd Markkinen is the best scorer on the team. Yeah, I think he's the best player on the team. I think Lloyd Markkinen would benefit from. Lloyd Markkinen would be a good fit on something like the Warriors.
Right, yeah, that'll be like their last piece of shooting big that they
Yep.
would need. That's great. Yep, that's great.
And if I was the Bucks, I would have got him instead of Kuzma
Right,
because he's a better defender than Kuzma, and he can shoot the ball.
right, but they already have Brook Lopez though.
Yeah, but Brook Lopez is getting older, so you get what I'm saying. We could still have him. We get Lloyd Markkinen, we plug Lloyd Markkinen right in. He could start
Is he
because
as
they don't
good
have a
as a
starting small forward.
defender?
He can start small forward.
Is he as great as a defender as Brook Lopez is?
Not Brook Lopez is a better big defender. Lloyd Markkinen is a better wing defender. Because you think about Lloyd Markkinen is listed as a small forward. He's not listed as a big. He's listed as a small forward. So he's guarding 3 through. He's actually probably guarding 1 through 5 on a nightly basis, but he's usually guarding 3 through 4. 3 through 5. So if we plug him in at the 3, he can still guard 3 through 5. And now when we want to go small ball, we just push him down. We put him not Kuzma. We put him and Giannis at the 4 and the 5, whichever one you want to put them, and you let them play. He's a good rebounder. He's a good shot blocker. He gets his blocks. He's a shooter now, so to get the 5 out, offense, Giannis gets to go, attack the rim the way he wants to. He just spaces the floor for them really well. And he's a better shooter than Lopez.
True.
He's a
That
better
would
shooter.
be a good fit, actually. Now that you say that, that would be an excellent fit.
You plug him in now, you're looking at something of a winning team. It's not perfect, but it's better than what you had. The Mark Williams trade got rescinded. That was a great control.
Ooh, you know what just came to mind?
What's up?
LaMelo Ball.
Mm.
I would like to see him on another team.
Yes. I would like to see him on another team. I would like to see them build around him better.
Right, yeah, they need to.
I
As soon as
like to see what
possible.
they're doing for Cade because Cade's team is better now, and Cade is better now. So I like to see what they're doing in Detroit around LaMelo.
Right. They
Detroit
can
is getting
take
back to that
Zion. They can get
gritty.
Zion off the Pelicans. I don't know if there's anyone they can trade for him because Zion's on the Pelicans by himself now.
Now that's a guy who's on the team literally by himself, but he has to stay healthy. No one's gonna want to trade for
Yeah.
him if he doesn't stay healthy.
Right.
There has to be.
Is CJ
And I was
McCollum
talking.
still there? Or is he
You said
retired?
what?
Is CJ McCollum still there?
Yeah, CJ
Yeah.
McCollum's still there. CJ McCollum, Murphy's there. They got Vucevic? I think they got Vucevic. No, Vucevic is on the Bulls now. CJ McCollum is there. Trey Murphy is really good. He's there. They just lost Brendan Ingram. So yeah, that's it now. It's just Zion and CJ. But Zion has to stay healthy. We were talking about this earlier because there was an argument that came about why Stephen Curry and a lot of people say that the players now couldn't play back then. And my biggest thing was conditioning. They're just not as conditioned as a player back. Like the players back then played 82 games. Like that was a normal for them. A normal for people now is to get in the war. I gotta just make sure I play my 34 or my 50 something games. Like 82 games was a requirement. They played it like they played it during those times. It was less injuries for them during those times. Like even with the fighting and everything, all of that, it was still less injuries. They were playing with broken noses, face mask on, broken hands, broken. They were playing through those kind of injuries, and they were also conditioned better. A lot of injuries now be injuries that's conditional injuries. Like you're not conditioned, like AD groin injury and ab pains. That's no offense. That's conditional injuries. You're not conditioning yourself well. Zion, you're overweight. That's bad conditioning. Luka supposedly 270. That's bad. Like what you guys are not conditioning yourselves to play the game of basketball to produce the product that you love. You're not conditioned well.
Mm-hmm.
So if Zion's not going to stay healthy, no one's going to go and trade for him. That's a scary trade to do. It's a scary trade to do.
But it's kind of like the Luka and AD situation, though, for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
They suffer with injuries, especially AD. I would take that bet on Zion and just
see. But
try to
Luka's
get
for injuries because he's been by himself. Like people don't give him enough credit. He's playing a lot of games. Also, he's playing by himself. So the wear and tear on his body is because he's carrying a heavy. Like think about it when we saw LeBron doing it. It was so shocking because he was carrying heavy loads and he wasn't getting injured. Luka is carrying that heavy load and he's getting injured because it's just him. Like until Kyrie got there, even it was just him. And then Kyrie got there. You know, Kyrie has his times where he's not playing ball as well. So it's like it's Luka, and when Luka's not there, it's just Kyrie. So when they get injured, it's like it's only them. AD has no excuse. He's not taking on a heavy load. He's just it's like you have to play. To me, you just have to play ball. I mean, you're getting hurt. Granted, the injury, I don't knock nobody for injury, but you have to. When you go to your office and say, "I need a big to play with," you are the big. Or why would we get a 5 when you're our 5? You're one of the best big defenders in the world. You're one of the best big defenders of all time. Why are we going to
He
go
is,
and get
but
someone else?
his natural position is the 4, though.
But he's 7 feet tall. You're like 6'9". Let me say 6'9" or 6'10", one of those. Why would I go and get someone else to play the 5 when you're the best option to play the 5? Like, just think about it. I can go and get you a big. He's not a better defender than you.
Yeah.
So now I'm spending more money to have an all-star level big when I can just play you and pay. I can just pay you and play you to play this position. You get what I'm saying? Like, but and then when he went to the Mavs, it does go to show that when he's at the 4, he has more leniency. But then he still got injured. So now it's like, what is the factor here now?
Right.
Because we went and gave you 2 bigs. You got Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, who play at a high level. They're doing well. They were doing well when Luka was there. They were doing well when it was just Kyrie. So now it's like you're there and you still get injured. Now what do we have? What do we do to keep you on the floor? And like I said, the Zion thing is the same thing. What do we do to keep? We went and got you a couple of all-stars. We have Ingram here. We got CJ McCollum here. You don't have to score as much. Now we need you to stay on the floor. What do we do to keep you on the floor?
At that point, that's just a personal player personal problem.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing. Now, where would Zion go where he could fit? Because he's a weird player. He's a sneaky shooter. I want to put that out there. People don't know that a lot about Zion. Zion is a sneaky 3-point shooter. So, where would you put him where he would fit well, though?
I was saying him and LaMelo.
Mm.
Him and LaMelo would be really good.
That would be a show, though. Like that would just be like Lob City and the Clippers in LA. That would be like them on the Hornets.
Right. And they're both young. They could develop together. Like, as
And then
long as
think about the
Zion can
Hornets
stay healthy and fit, they're good to go.
have LaMelo. They have Brandon Miller who can grow. He's shown sparks of greatness. They have Mark Williams who's a good big. You just plug Zion in. That's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
The
not mad
Lakers
at
were
it.
supposed to get Mark Williams too, but that trade fell through.
Because the conditioning. See, he's physical. He fell the physical because they're not players these days are just not conditioning with Zion. I mean, LeBron is playing at 40 something because he conditions his body really well. A lot of these players are injured a lot now. They're not going to be able to play at 40.
No, nowhere near no.
Like they're not going to be able to. Like Mikal Bridges might be the only person out. Mikal Bridges on our team is going to be the only person I know that can play because he's not injury prone. Like he didn't have an injury for his first 3 years in the league or something like that. Like
he's the Iron Man. He's never missed a game.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. Like that's a crazy thing to say. Like
right.
So he's someone that could probably play into their 40 because he doesn't get injured a lot. But that's conditioning. He's conditioning his body.
True.
That's like it's
Have to be
sneaky, but that's the
in
truth. Like you gotta conditioning counts. Like you gotta if you want to play, you have to actually like Draymond Green is suspended more than he injured.
No, really though.
Like that's conditioning. He's on the court because he conditioned. So like Jimmy Butler's another one. He barely you barely see him out, out for injury. He plays a lot.
Younger
I think he had
players
it
a little
bad when
bit
he was on the Bulls though.
younger players don't really prioritize their body, I'm guessing.
Mhm. What do you think about Ben Simmons going to the Clippers as well? They signed him. I was like, I don't understand the
I don't
benefit.
like that signing. I don't think they need any more guard play. They have Harden. Harden is more than enough unless he's coming off the bench.
What
Let
if he
Simmons.
doesn't play? What if he doesn't play guard? What if he plays the four?
I don't like Simmons at any other position but the guard because I don't really see where he's efficient enough at rebounding or scoring or even defense.
But he
Like I'm not
used to. I
saying
think
he's
everyone
bad
is
defender.
signing
He's
him
not a bad
based off of
defender.
his production before, like what we know he can do, not what he is now. We did like his. I think his mental is more. I think his mental is just fucked up. Like he's not the same player he was in Philly because of his mental. He still has the same like build, the same. He's still 16. He's still. I just think that his mental is not where it used to be after the whole. He didn't take the shot layup in Philly. And to me, I feel like that's like when people say he can't play at a high level, it's idiotic because he was an all-star. He was an all-star player. He was averaging 19, like 16 something, almost double-digit assists, rebounds. He can rebound. Him and Embiid used to rebound like crazy. Like they were a rebounding team. I just don't. He's just not who he used to be. So I think people are signing him based off what they think he could be. They see the potential. Uh, if his mental never gets right, I don't know if he can ever get back to where he was. But I mean, the Clippers is a rehab team, so a lot of people go there and come out like I don't know. I don't even know what to do. I wish that he never. I wish he could have weathered that mental storm in Philly because I think he would still be there. And I think right now he would be great. Like that Ben Simmons, the Philly Ben Simmons would be a great addition to Philly right now.
Right? Yeah, they could really use him.
Yeah, the
But
Philly, but
Tyrese
he's not
Maxey,
that
I feel
player
like he's
anymore.
a better fit at the guard right now at the moment. Maybe he could have ran the four there.
He could have ran the four, but if you think about it, on the Sixers, he did a mixture of both. He was
Yeah, he
sometimes he's
did
at
a
the
mix
four,
of
sometimes he's
both.
at the
Yeah.
PG. With Maxi growing up, he would have had to slide over, which they could use right now. They could use a forward at just a dunker spot. He doesn't shoot the three too well. He's just a dunker. He can give you that pass. He can give you that rebound. And what people fail to remember is Ben Simmons was a great on-ball defender.
Hmm.
So you pluck him in different places. The guard. Now you on a court where Joel Embiid can't guard somebody. We can just plug Ben Simmons in to guard the best guard because Maxi's not a great defender yet. Well, he's a good defender. He's not a great defender yet. You just plug Ben Simmons in. So now Ben Simmons is guarding Damian Lillard. Ben Simmons is guarding Shea. Ben Simmons. You put Ben Simmons on Jason Tatum when they see Jason Tatum. Now we got Paul George guarding Brown, and we got Jason Tatum. I mean, Ben Simmons guarding Jason Tatum. Now we match up better because there's no one on the sub that can guard Joel Embiid. Well, we got two people that can slow down Jaylen Brown and if they stay healthy, because also Ben Simmons is an injury prone and Paul George is injury prone as well. I think Paul George is just bored with the game of basketball at this point. But that's just my personal opinion.
He might be.
You said what?
I said he might be.
Yeah, like he's just not. He doesn't give him much effort as he used to the game. James Wiseman to the Toronto Raptors. They waived him. They actually waived him. That's a great wave. Wasn't he a number one pick? That's a bust. I was so sold on James Wiseman when he was coming into the league. He might be one of the worst prospects I've ever scouted and was like, yeah, he's one of those guys.
But didn't he deal with injury problems?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
so
did. Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those guys I was like, yeah, he can definitely be, and he hasn't been. What was he drafted at?
Second pick, second overall.
To the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I'm so mad. He played 39 games. He played 39 games. He was
That's
shooting
disappointing. I
50%.
think Jaden Wiseman. I still think he could be a good player. He's too
Yeah,
young
but
to just.
where you put him at? He had a good season in Detroit too. A couple good seasons in Detroit. They let him go. He was on Golden State, did not play, got traded from Golden State, went back to Golden State somehow in his third year, fourth year Detroit, 6th year Detroit. He's in the 7th season, and he's out. He doesn't have a team. Um, that's tough. That's tough. Uh, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he's that bad where he couldn't play, especially with some of the people that be on the court. But averaging 9 points for your career, averaging 9 points for your career. Ouch. His PER is 14.6. Yeah, that's nasty.
Well, Zay, I do want to say thanks for having me tonight.
Yes, sir.
This was a
It is
great
about,
conversation.
it is about that time too. Yeah, we did an hour. I didn't even
For
peep
the
the time.
hour.
Thank you for that. Managing my time. Well, thank you, Gabe. I don't know when we're gonna be back. We're gonna see. A lot of people didn't show up tonight, so we're definitely gonna workshop the scheduling. But for a first show, we had a great conversation. We'll probably
Great
touch on
show.
these topics with a bigger panel. And then we'll have future topics based on what the league is doing. We'll talk about Luka's first game. We'll talk about AD's first game again with the newer panel. And I want to talk about some of the future of the league, like some of the players that are going to be next. Also, some of the players that are in the college draft. So that'll be our next topics for the next time we see you guys. Thank you, Gabe, for coming out.
You're
Thank you
very
for
welcome.
everyone who
Thank you for
tuned
having
in.
me.
I'll promote the show better next time, so we'll have it hopefully not tomorrow, but Thursday, so we have time to promote the show tomorrow and see who we have for Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Y'all enjoy
Good
the
night.
rest of your night.
You ended it?